back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of WindRiders of Aria. I am Will, or Half the Halfling Wizard. We're going to go around, let everybody kind of introduce themselves, tell us who they are, who they play, and what's something that you're excited about for this episode. This will be I believe this is our last episode before Christmas. So we won't be back with WindRiders, I believe, until the new year, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but we're gonna go and we're gonna start in my order here, and we're gonna start with Riku.
Hello, everyone. I'm Riku, and tonight I am playing Karak, the Panturi, who is the captain of the Windrider, and now this pirate crew that we have. One thing I'm looking forward with Karak specifically is more so exploring his childlike wonder at the idea of being a pirate. So that should be fun.
Very cool. All right. Then we'll go. Let's skip over. We'll go to Lisa next.
Hey, I'm Lisa, D&D Wonderwolf on TikTok and Discord. I play Lieutenant Commander Katarina, also known as Falcon in pirate terms. I'm looking forward to the first actual mission to see how we actually do as pirates.
Which should be fun.
She needs to win really bad. You know?
That's fair. All right. And we're gonna Old Worm Slayer.
Hi everybody, this is Old Worm Slayer. I hope you can hear me. I'll be playing Gathel Freddy tonight. Also currently known as Redbeard. And I'm looking forward to our adventures with our new player.
Okay. Cool. Of course, we don't have Kel tonight. He was super exhausted. This is probably the worst time in the life to be a retail employee, and so he took the night off, which is totally fine. Yes. So speaking of, we do have a guest tonight, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. Just tell us who you are and what's something you're looking forward to. We won't get into character stuff yet until it's time, but take it away.
Yeah, my name's Henry, and I am looking forward to just having some fun. This looks like a fun system. That has a lot of cool bits to it, so I'm pretty excited to explore this system and have a good time.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? So last time we were here, the crew of the Stormbreaker, they lifted off and were headed towards their new base because they can't be at the Geological Institute because who would believe that there were pirates there? So they have to have their own home base, basically. And our captain here, Captain Kedek, he was sent on a different transport. So he is already at the base, along with
Unprotected.
No, he has plenty of protection. I mean, it's plenty. So he is on his way there. So are several other key members of the crew, as well as our guest player. Their character is also on the other transport. And we will meet them all when we get to the new location. But before that, you guys are in the Stormbreaker, in the clouds, heading towards the new base. You guys basically had a pretty uneventful time, which is great. They sent you kind of out of the shipping lane so that no one would come anywhere near you. you did see some ships passing in the distance, but there was no, they didn't seem to either recognize you or care about you at that point. And yeah, so then as you guys are sort of coming down, or not down, but out of the cloud cover, um, Hatter, good lord. Um, so as you guys are coming out of the cloud cover, you can see a sort of um, on the southern horizon there. You can see in the distance which is your destination. You can't get a good look at it yet, but you can. The navigational officer will say that you are within visual range of the new base, uh, and she will be saying that to anyone who's on the bridge at that point, which I believe is. And I'm going to use your common names right now, but which is Katerina. Gath is on the bridge, and everybody else is sort of doing their thing. So the navigations officer will say that base is in visual range. They will then say make a heading change or suggest a heading change to approach from the north. So yeah, so that's where we are. So what's happening on the bridge at this point? Katerina and Gath, you guys are on the bridge. Or I think, Katerina, you're up top, I believe.
So
you're on
Yeah, I was on the battle bridge, I believe.
You caught
Yes,
me
I
taking
was.
a bite of. Gath is just steadying the course and making sure that everything is going smoothly.
Okay, cool. And they adjust course. The Stormbreaker will start to list to starboard, heading south to the north side of the new base. As you all sort of get closer, you can see the island. It's sort of shrouded in sort of mist. And as you get closer, it begins to rain. So you run into a little bit of weather. Pirate music. We have a new theme song for pirating, which should hear in the background. As you approach the new base, let me get us there. You will start to receive a transmission in a sort of Morse code type thing. There's no vocal communication. It's all going to be in basically like Morse code. And it's basically telling you to approach. Approach is cleared. And as you sort of come over and sort of come through a sort of mist, a cloud of mist, and then the mist sort of breaks away, you will all see the new base.
Oh, awesome.
It's pretty cool.
As you approach your final approach to Rook, this is Ravenhook Reef, your new base. As the Stormbreaker approaches the new island, behind you'll see there's sort of a lighthouse there there's a mountain in the back. That's the sort of mountain in the middle of the island, and on the sort of northern coast, you see the base. And right behind that, where you see like a sort of lighthouse, there is a landing pad for the Stormbreaker, which the Stormbreaker goes in for its final sort of coming in and around. Kind of give you a good sort of view of the island. So before we get to the Stormbreaker landing, let's get to Kedek. Kedek, you are already here, so you got here a little bit ahead of the Stormbreaker, because they could hit the shipping lanes and get here faster. So you're already here. You've already got your quarters. You sort of familiarized yourself a little bit of the layout. The central sort of hub is the lighthouse, is sort of the central hub of everything, and below that is sort of all of the underground sort of hidden features. This whole sort of area here is very pirate hideout. There's nothing technologically advanced about it. It's very simplistic, as if So if you had someone with another pirate company come upon you, and they came ashore, they would be none the wiser. As if it's very sort of rudimentary, and it's literally just sort of, you can live in it. It's not the best. It's not the most comfortable. Yeah. The captain has his own sort of office type, and that's sort of the base of the lighthouse. Is sort of his main area. And then below that is like, places to eat, your sort of mess hall, and then crew quarters, and that sort of thing. Storage room for loot. There's lots of those, and they are full of loot. Pre-staged, of course. And as you are there, so is the commandant of the military, basically. Leader of the military, like top brass, is there. Just sort of giving you a rundown, telling you that your number one priority is to get in good with the Black Tide Syndicate. Nothing else. You have to focus on just that. Anything beyond that, and it's going to either blow your cover or it's going to jeopardize it. So, and he tells you that there's going to be a lot of times where this job is going to get extremely difficult. Like you have to make decisions that you've never had to make before. And you're going to have to make decisions based on being a pirate and not a Fossen officer. Hopefully that won't happen, but there's a good chance that it will. So that's basically, yeah. So they're just sort of giving you the rundown. When the Stormbreaker arrives and your crew gets here, then we will give you like your specifics that you need to do, and then your first mission. But until then, you're free to roam about and check out the place and make it your own, basically. And of course, your first officer is there as well.
Yeah. I think while he's being told of all of the information about what this these missions and this mission in its entirety are going to be like, he's there just serious, taking it all in, making sure that he understands everything. But once he is in his quarters alone, Kadek begins just looking at everything, looking how cool everything is looked, even all staged. He's looking through outfits, trying to figure out what kind of look he wants to go with for his pirate look and all that. And he is just excited for this, even with the danger going on.
Okay. So at that point, Commander Aaron, your first officer, Morgan Blackfang, as she's known, um, comes into the room and says that she wants to introduce you to your new weapons specialist.
Oh, uh, okay, yeah. And he quickly cleans up a bit of the mess that he just made, and prepares to meet who this may be.
Okay. She'll go back out into the hall and she'll bring in, and I'm going to let Henry describe his character to us.
For sure. So yeah, his piratey name is Douglas Lamora. I wrote a lot, so let's see how much of it I can read here. Let's see here. Uh, he's got mischievous indigo eyes that seem to take in everything around. He has light gray skin. He is obviously Yin with he's got a yellow and purple swath that starts on his cheek. He has half of his head shaved, the other is long and lustrous down to his shoulder. He's wearing a vest. Yeah, his clothes look well maintained, but also slept in. You might get the sense that he's not been sleeping so great. And other than that, yeah, he looks ready to meet his captain.
Okay. So you come in the room and Lieutenant or Commander Aaron, the first officer, Morgan Blackfang, she'll introduce you. And what's your character's name again?
The pirate name is Douglas. Douglas Lamora.
And what's your character name?
Entourage.
Entourage.
Yep.
All right, and she'll introduce you as Entourage. As what rank did I give you?
I don't think you did. You just like weapons specialist, so I don't know.
Yeah, specialist Entourage, and I'll get you a rank.
Yeah, no worries.
She'll introduce you as your official name, and then you can go into your piratey name and all that with the captain once he finishes his questioning or whatever he wants to do with you. So, Commander Aaron will come in and introduce you as Specialist Entourage, and she will exit the room and let you guys have your moment here.
Well, welcome to the Stormbreaker. Happy to have you on. Did you find traveling here all right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was pretty much pressed against the portholes for most of it, so I got a good look of the entire trip. But yeah, it seems like this is a good spot.
Yeah, it's amazing to look at and see everything that they've done. Yeah. So, where are you from exactly? Where do you hail from?
Oh, here and there. I haven't. I've been working odd jobs trying to get to. I don't know the lore very well, so I apologize. But
Well, that's fair.
but he'll kind of say, I've been working on jobs trying to get such and forth. And I was really happy when this opportunity was presented to me. So I kind of crash landed onto it. So.
That's about right. Well, hey, that's good. Hopefully this is a journey for you to enjoy, and I will do my best to make sure of that.
Yeah, Yeah. Hopefully, keep the dangers at bay as best we can, and enjoy the piratey parties I've heard so much about.
Wait, there's parties.
That was my tagline. I don't know what they told you.
Who you been talking to?
You see his eyes glow wide of like um just excited for all of this. You could definitely sense the whimsy in him while trying to maintain like this professionalism.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to not notice my enthusiasm as well. He's kind of bouncing on his heels a little bit. So.
We've got 2 kids in the candy store.
Awesome.
Get down, folks.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Okay. So while you two are having your little chat, you'll hear a commotion out in the hallway. Just like voices raised. You'll hear, "Where is he?" And you hear, "You cannot go in there, sir. You cannot go in there. Get out of my way." And you hear like
Do
scuffle.
I recognize the voice?
You hear, no, it's a little too muffled,
Okay.
but it's getting louder and closer to you.
Oh boy.
As you hear, "Get out of my way. I order you to get out of my way." Well, let me. Yeah, and you hear the voices sort of like, "But sir, I have to. Let me just move. Just go work at your desk or something." And then you hear the door flies open, and it's like standing there is Commander Nimitz, and he says, "Don't get me killed." As he turns and he walks out.
Oh my god, I love it.
Well,
He's like the curmudgeon-y, grumpy man that we've all come to absolutely adore.
You'll notice Kennick is just frozen like a statue as this happens, as he comes in, shouts this and leaves. And it's like confusion, shock, excitement all at once that he just freezes because what just happened?
Merry Christmas.
And the secretary will be like, "I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry." It's like,
No,
he just
it-
burst
it-
past. I tried to stop him.
No. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just shocked to see him.
Yeah, we
Um,
all are.
but well, give him what he needs. And
Yes, sir.
yep, sorry to put that on you, but wait here. And he's gonna go back to his chest and grab um a bottle of whiskey he picked up. And I said, would you deliver this to him? I feel like he's gonna need it.
She takes it and she goes, "Yes, sir. Yes, Captain."
Thank you.
She takes a deep breath and she exits.
Try complimenting him before you give it to him.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no, we don't do that. We don't. Oh no. She's. You can see the color in her goes out. It's just like, oh no. I'll leave it outside his door and I'll knock and run.
I lean over to I lean over to you, and I'm just like, just give it a little time. Um, you'll see why not.
That's fair. Yeah.
He means well. He means well. He's just a bit rough around the edges.
A bit rough.
A bit rough.
Commander Aaron, she's there. She'll look at Entourage and she's like, avoid him. just avoid.
I'm gonna give the secretary a look of like, oh come on now.
And she's gonna look at you like,
I'm like,
no, you're right. Absolutely, specialist. I'm correct. You should go and say hi to him.
okay, maybe not that.
Mhm.
Not yet.
You
Give him
know,
a
okay.
day or two. Give him a day or two.
Okay. So she goes, I'll go give this to him. And she exits.
Uh, I'm I'm
Merry
just
Christmas, everybody.
long just long story short, he was supposed to retire after we landed here, and I kind of asked him if he wanted to stay. That like, I left it in his hands, and I told him that we would really appreciate him for at least one more mission. And I didn't expect him to agree because he was so close to retirement, and yet there he is. So hope that explains it.
So
I mean,
Commander Aarons goes, oh no, this wasn't by his choice. He was recalled.
Wait, what?
He was recalled into service.
By who?
She like goes to her paperwork. She's like, by you, sir.
I didn't specifically recall him. I gave him the option.
Hmm. Oh, according to his statement, you requested that he return to duty.
I, did I say something wrong? Did I use the wrong words? Because I wanted this to be his choice, not mine. Seriously, though.
I know. Well, maybe that's a conversation you'll have to have with him.
Yeah, sounds
It's
like
always
it. Sounds like someone took the wrong notes. I don't know who, but
And she hands you the form, and it does. It says it's like an official, like requisition, like return to duty form, and your name is
Is it
on
in
it.
my handwriting?
No, it's from his. It's from
Did I
him.
get drunk?
No, it's from
Oh,
him.
oh.
It's his statement of why he is being recalled to duty. Because his understanding is
Son of a
that
bitch.
you requested that he return to duty.
maybe you
Or maybe
should
he's trying to
deliver him
make
the
it.
rescue.
Maybe I should. I'm starting to think that either there was a miscommunication or he's trying to put it on me that instead of saying that he chose to return, he's trying to say that I ordered him to return. So he
It's his
doesn't look
way
like
of
he
saying
chose
that you.
here.
I think it's his way of saying that you couldn't do this without him.
I mean,
I don't know. You'll have to have that conversation with him.
He's
I'll
not
have the conversation.
wrong.
Let's let him settle in. Maybe have a drink or two, and then I'll have the conversation with him. And hopefully that conversation goes well.
I'm sure it will. Sure it will. Absolutely.
Sure.
It's a bundle of joy. Commander Aaron says, "Oh, and sir, the Stormbreaker is on final approach.
Oh, wonderful.
You can
Now you
watch
get to
from the
meet the rest of the
observation.
crew.
Yep. You can watch from the observation deck at the top of the lighthouse.
Sure. Oh. Ooh. I'll meet you up there in a little bit, and after they leave, I'm going to rush to the wardrobe and non-seriously put it on the most ridiculous outfit I could pirate outfit I could find to greet them in.
Love it.
As in like totally not take like I know this is not gonna work type outfit, but hey, just this is gonna be fun, guys. He is a
Indeed.
kid in a candy store right now.
I love it. I love it. All right, so you're doing that. So we're gonna go back to the Stormbreaker. Before we do though, here I'm gonna do an ad break. Here's some merch placement.
Ooh.
You can't really see it, but I got my Jurassic Genesis cup in today. It's very cool. Has my to-do list on it. Coffee. Don't get eaten by a dinosaur. And it's super cool. It's like the big one. It's massive. I love it. So you can find it on the merch store. It comes in 2 sizes. Also comes on what are they called? A tumbler, coffee tumbler.
Ooh.
But yeah, I love it. It's a big oversized mug, and I love it. So anyway, all right. So to the Stormbreaker. So you guys are on final approach. The bridge crew.
Sarcastically, mine's bigger.
I can't see it. Sorry. So you guys are on final approach. You arrive at the island. The bridge crew lands the Stormbreaker without any issues. Sets her down gently. She's moored into place, and the gangplank is lowered.
Can you see it now, Will?
Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, it's nice. It's like a Stein mug, like a big. I have one of those too somewhere.
It is.
Okay.
This is the Warbro here on the Stein.
Oh, okay. I have one somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I do have one. Anyway. All right. So you guys have landed. What do you do?
I will fly back down to the bridge, the battle bridge.
You're gonna fly back down to it.
Yeah.
You're gonna fly down to the main bridge. You mean? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
To the isn't there still an observation deck outside the main bridge?
No.
No.
The main deck is outside the main bridge.
I'll go down to the main deck.
Okay. Okay. As you fly down, you get soaking wet.
The main deck is the observation bridge.
Yeah, it is truly it's everything. So okay, so you go down to the main deck, right outside the main bridge. You see the bridge crew kind of shutting things, putting things in sort of like stasis and sleep, turning things down. The engines, you get the rumbling of the engines go as they go down, and the ship goes dark as the crew begins to unload. And then immediately there's like other things being
So
loaded
you got all
on.
washed up for the occasion, Falcon.
That's funny. Did you hear that, Lisa?
What's that?
Oh, okay, she didn't hear it. You want to say it again?
I said, I see you got washed up for the occasion, Falcon.
As she's soaking wet.
And I'll just say,
Because
yes.
you're all wet.
You're all wet. How does she do? Does she like shake her wings to dry off? What does she do? Because when you're on the main deck, you're under the balloon.
Like a bird coming out of a bird bath.
Just, she's all fluffed up.
Yep. Yep.
That's funny.
And hopefully splash it all over.
All over Gath. Yeah. So, and you guys see the crew coming and going, and they're starting to bring other things onto the ship, what look like large crates, that sort of thing. As people are just doing their thing. You will see, I'm assuming, Kedek, you're out on the observation deck, right on the up top. So you guys will see up at the top you will see the captain up there, and so is Tess or Black Fang. She's up there as well, sort of watching the ship being loaded and unloaded and loaded, crew coming and going. So,
Carrick, you will see she's dyed her wings black.
Ooh. Yes, getting into the spirit.
oh, that's right. Carrick wasn't here when the characters described themselves. You want to refresh real quick?
No.
So, Katarina, you want to tell us?
Yeah, Falcon is dressed all in black, dyed her wings black, black leather, black vest, black shirt. She's got a cutlass, 2 flintlocks, 4 knives, an eye patch. Yeah. Fierce.
Arm to the beak.
Right now, she looks puffy. Oh, it makes me laugh. Okay. So, Gath, you want to describe what Redbeard looks like?
Redbeard is dressed in like this red velvet uh, top with a black uh, leather pantaloons. He has a cutlass, a flintlock, and a I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the equivalent of a the black powder rifles from the time on his back. His beard has been dyed red,
Oh, there you
and so has his hair to match. Because
are. Okay. All right. He's sort of a red-haired version of Blackbeard, I believe, is what he said last time, which is super cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Blackbeard the pirate was had red hair. This is what Cat looks like.
Excellent.
Gotcha.
And Cal has, of course, created a character with a name that nobody can pronounce. I'm not even kidding you. It's like
No, I'm aware of that. I saw that in the
From
chat.
something.
I don't even know. I'm like, I don't even try anymore. I just go, you. I'm like, I don't know if you are. C, it's like a C. It's like, what was it? It was Kramhag or something like that. Kramhag
Yeah.
or it's Gaelic. Of course it is. So yeah, I'll let him describe himself to you when he's here with us. So, all right.
Translated it to in English, but I know I gave him a nickname based on it.
Yeah, he's. I have that somewhere too. I don't know where it's at, but anyway. All right, so you guys have come out, and you can see the captain and the commander up top. As people are just sort of doing their thing.
You see, when you see Kedek, he has like one of the tricorn hats on, obviously too big for his head. He has an eye patch on with a scarf around his head. He basically found whatever pieces he can find and just put it on. It looks comical as you watch. As y'all walk up to him, he's just like waving.
Does he have the pig leg on yet?
No, not yet. He's still got to figure that out. Still haven't decided if I'm just gonna paint.
Okay, so he hasn't switched his legs yet.
No, I haven't switched my leg yet.
I could have
So
sworn
for
they gave
those
you
of
a
you-
mechanical peg leg.
That's true. for those of you who do not know, that would be our guest. Our guest is that Kedek lost his leg in an episode of a terrorist attack on the WindRider. So he has a cybernetic leg, basically,
Oh,
and it's pretty
that's
neat.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So,
Which
however,
where she got
hang-
the
I
logo
could-
from.
I can hang from my toe.
yeah.
The tensile
However,
strength is strong.
Yeah. However, unfortunately, as a pirate, he can't have it because it's too technologically advanced. So they're going to have to create something for him that's a little more piratey and less technological. Because that would have been the very first thing. The minute, Entourage, when you came on board, the very first thing they would have done is take all technology away from you.
Okay.
You would have signed basically a non-use of technology agreement, meaning you would not use it during your whole stay or while you're stationed in this particular situation.
So they probably had him empty out his bags, and he was like,
Yep.
"Books? You have pens?"
Making sure they would go through everything.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been anything in there
Yeah.
that they probably would have said
Oh,
no
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah, they were like, okay, he's got nothing, and they would have sent you on. All right, so you guys come in. I'm assuming you guys come off the ship and into the HQ, into the base. When you guys walk from the landing pad into the base itself, there's a large sort of like giant double doors, like a hangar basically. And as you go inside, I mean, it's literally just sort of full of like boats and some minor like air vehicles that are all like either steam powered or balloon powered. There are no like advanced engines of any kind. And it's kind of dare I say trashy, because it has to look like a pirate sort of hangout. So as you go in, everything looks very shabby, sort of like old, undusted, cobwebs or whatever, like you would walk into an old cave or something. Everything is very aged, damp in some areas, um, that sort of thing. So as you guys come into the hangar, you'll be met by one of the base lieutenants, um, who will take you to the captain. And you will notice that there are members in uniform here as well as like people dressed as like common pirates. And they're part of the setup crew. They'll be exiting soon. But this lieutenant, she'll take you to the captain. And she'll go, we're so glad you're here. The captain's expecting you. If you'll follow me, and then you guys will literally go upstairs, spiral staircase, to the captain's, to right outside the captain's office sort of area. And as you kind of go up the spiral staircase, you guys you'll see each level of the base. Because it'll come out onto a landing that kind of opens up into whatever floor it is and then goes up. And you'll see several storerooms of like all kinds of goods and treasures and things of that. And eventually you'll get to the base, the upper base level, which is the base of the lighthouse. And you will come to there's a really cool, like sort of hand carved door that leads into the captain's quarters. And she'll bang on the door.
Come in.
She'll open the door and she'll basically go, "You may enter." And she'll let all of you guys go in first, and then she'll come in and she'll say, "Captain, the last of the prep teams are prepped to leave on your okay."
Absolutely. If you could make sure final checks are ready to go. Um, and then I'll meet you up at the bridge to set off.
Yes, sir. And she closes the door behind and goes off to basically get the last of the uniformed crew off of the base or off the upper base. Yeah. All right. So now your crew is all here, except for A. Of course, A has been detained. So
What do we do now?
they found some technological contraband.
Yes.
Because of course. Because of course they did.
Oh yeah,
Good
there.
to see you, Captain.
Good to see you too. How was the trip over?
Smooth sailing.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Well, it seems like y'all are getting into the spirit of things. I need to.
Who's the
You know, I
first
need
blood?
to. Oh yes, yes, yes. If you would like to introduce yourself. Oh, I forgot your name again. Sorry.
That's okay. I might have forgotten your name too. but but yeah, I'm
What is
a
for pirate?
specialist contract, and he's not exactly sure how to greet you, so he'll do kind of a half bow, like kind of huh?
That's funny.
What is your specialty?
Um, I know a lot. Um, his eyes are kind
We're
of
getting off to a great start.
his eyes are kind of darting around the room looking for something to kind of like lock onto, like, huh, what is my specialty? And I think maybe there's like a map of the local areas. He's like, oh, what is that word? Geographist. I'm a geographist.
I was like, did they say your own weapons?
Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh, another cat. Yes. What is your assignment?
That would be weapons.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm the weapons officer.
Ah. When you get a chance, you'll want
Oh,
to
you
meet
went to
up
like play
with.
Soot.
When you have a chance, you'll want to meet up with Declan Frost. He's in charge of weapons maintenance and training on the security team, so y'all might want to work together.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, and Katarina, you have an old friend that's decided to join us.
I don't have many friends. What are you talking about?
Wait, he's back?
It is a clear sarcasm
Are
in
you
his
talking about who
voice.
I think you're talking about?
If you're talking about a certain no longer retiree.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Holy shit.
And don't let him lie to you and say that I forced him to stay.
Pretended to be a pirate.
You forced him to stay?
No,
you
no, no, no,
totally
no. I did not. I did not force him to stay. He's gonna tell you that I forced him to stay. I did not force him to stay. I will fight that.
Okay. Well, what is your pirate name, Captain?
You gave him enough so he couldn't resume.
My
Yeah,
pirate
so-
name. Oh.
We actually need for you to tell us, yeah, because you're the only one that hasn't told anybody, and everybody has been very much waiting to hear what your pirate name is, what you look like, everything. So this is your chance to introduce your new persona.
Yeah. I completely forgot about this. And I think in the excitement of it all, Caddick probably forgot about the most important part, which is his name.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
That is so funny.
I'm actually much more interested to know what Commander Nimitz's pirate name is going to be.
You'll have to
I,
ask him.
I, wow, yeah, that is actually a very, very good question.
Don't deflect.
Well, I don't think he's going to call himself that.
Okay, well, tell us what you look like, because you went and you said you put on the most ridiculous-looking pirate outfit you could.
Yeah, he slowly starts like taking off like the stuff that obviously doesn't fit. Like he obviously was a joke to try to look ridiculous, but he grabs a uh more fitting tricorn hat. Um, he takes the scarf that he put around his head. He puts it around his neck. It's kind of a uh it's a red scarf around his neck. He has a more like trench coat like jacket on.
Like a duster.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
pirate duster.
Um, and he's like, and he also says, "Well, I have the look pretty much set. I just gotta figure out the leg part. Um, I might try to find some boots just to hide it in, or see if he can get me a peg leg looking version. But with A detained, that's gonna be a bit difficult. So I guess for now he's gonna grab like one of the larger, taller boots, and he's gonna try to stick the leg into one of them to make it look like he actually has two legs now, and hide the fact that it's a peg leg or a prosthetic as best as he can. And he's gonna say, as for the name, I might have to get back to you on that one.
We'll just call you Captain until then. It works.
I think that works actually, just calling me Captain. I won't have to call myself anything other than that until I actually have to introduce myself to someone who doesn't know me. So,
Why not Captain Iron Mike?
What?
It's your choice. You come up with it. It's yours. You decide.
Yeah, let me think about
It's
it.
fine. You're fine. Just you
Yeah.
have to have it
Oh,
before
we
this
did.
episode.
We
ends.
did
Not
name.
Captain.
We,
Captain of Life.
we did name the ship in your absence.
Oh. Oh yeah, I heard. I heard. I like it.
Do you know anything about our mission?
I believe I would have been briefed on it.
You have.
Okay. Yes, I do know about the mission. We're just making our final preparations, and then we'll be off. So,
Very good.
if you wanna head back to your quarters and make sure everything is settled there, and then report to your stations as we prepare to set off on this new adventure.
Let's get some booty.
That's my line.
Okay.
And Katarina will leave, but of course we'll
Can-
take up residence outside the door.
Of course.
Okay. So as all right, so you take up residence
Oh
outside
yes,
the
we
door.
got a golden retriever for us.
What does everybody else do?
I think Entourage is on the make for the best quarters available. He wants first dibs.
Okay. Yep. You go down a level, and that's the crew quarters. The crew quarters are basically sort of like if you went like to a like a camp, multiple beds in a single room type of thing. There's 4 beds to a room. They're bunk beds basically. So yeah, but there are several like good sized ones versus some smaller ones versus this that and the other.
Yeah, if there's like are they like hammock style or are they
Uh
like
huh.
like
There's some of
hammock
those as
style?
well. There are.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's he's seeking out a nice big hammock, preferably on the top rather
Okay.
than
Yeah.
sleeping
Yeah,
underneath
you can find
somebody.
those. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yep. But yeah,
With
he's kind of making himself at home. So
yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, you're able to. Yeah, you can find on the second level below. You'll find a lot of the rooms that have like the hammock style sort of six to a room that kind of line the walls. They're not above each other. They're just sort of yeah. So there's no one above you or below you.
perfect. Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
and pilfering a couple cushions,
Oh yeah.
scoping out a desk.
Yeah, there's all kinds of like, and there's like inside the rooms, there's like tables that you can use for whatever. There's rudimentary like bedding. There aren't any plush pillows or cushions or anything, but there is some quote unquote pillows and some wool blankets that you can get for sure.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
All right. Gath, what are you doing?
Gath will walk into Entourage's room and jokingly say, "Hey, this is my spot." Just kidding. Anyways, seriously, he'll find his quarters and get settled in.
Okay. Okay. Um, uh, then the head of the
Yes,
military,
I'm a bit
basically.
of a smart aleck.
No, that's cool.
The head of the military.
I didn't know we're gonna have to fight over this.
There's plenty of room for everybody. Well, I say that. The head of the military walks down the hall towards the captain's office, sees Katerina standing outside the door, and looks at her and says, "What do you think you're doing?"
Keeping an eye on my captain.
No. That those protocols do not exist here. You're a pirate. Go about your business.
As a pirate, my job is to look after my captain.
As a pirate, your job is to do what I tell you to do. We do not have the command structure of a fossil military here. If someone was to walk in and see this, they're going to wonder why. Can't do it. He's going to bust your balls right here.
Of course he is.
So as he walks past you, he said, "So when I come out of this room, I expect you not to be here." And he goes into the captain's room, closes the door. And then you will hear him yelling at the captain, telling him that we told you that we do not have command structure in this situation. You've got to make sure that your people follow the rules. No, we can't do any of this. We cannot. This is too important to give it away because of pride, of this, that, and the other. So you need to get a handle on your crew.
I will get out of there.
What?
But I'm not happy because I don't think that's command structure.
Uh,
I think it has to do
Caddock's
with
just
her
confused at
pirate
first.
backstory, but I'm not gonna make it worse for the captain.
Yeah, honestly, Caddock is just confused by this coming in and everything. I was like, what are you talking? Like, what happened?
And he tells you that one of your crew
Jesus.
we're standing guard outside of your door, and we cannot, we can't do that. The captain, you have to be so dangerous that no one needs to watch you.
Uh,
So
thank
that
you
type of
for.
command, that type of structure cannot exist in this whole scenario until
Um,
you establish yourself as a pirate to be reckoned with. You got to do it. This is the way you've got to do it.
I I appreciate the information. I honestly had no idea, so I will have a talk soon. Thank you.
He sort of says, "Okay." And then as he turns to exit, he turns back and he says, "As the captain, you should always have an idea."
Oh, jeez.
And then
I said
he
I needed a
exits.
win.
And he exits and he opens the door to see if you're still there, and he sees that you're not there, and he heads down the hallway.
Yeah. Kadek is just gonna sit at his desk just with his hand in his palm, just like, oh, this is gonna be a trip, isn't it?
I'm going all the way back to Starbreaker. I'm like this, you know.
Yeah. And he's gonna essentially Kadek is just waiting for notice that preparations are ready.
Okay. Yeah, as you can see, you'll be reported to you, and someone will come to you. One of the new crew will come to you, who's in complete pirate garb. You will not see anybody who wanders around the base will no longer see uniforms anywhere. Everyone is dressed in commoner garb. Um, they are pirates. That is what they are. They are talking like it. They are acting like it. Um, So when you go down if you go to the mess hall, it's loud and people are drinking and roughhousing and the whole 9 yards. Like people have to get into the mind frames of being pirates. Yes, and as they're telling you, Captain, they're talking to you. It's like yes, they have to maintain their sense of who they are, but we have to get into the syndicate. That's the only way we're going to find out who is destroying these bases. And so far, they've only hit the low security bases. And then they sort of look at you, Captain, and they go, imagine if they hit a base in Fossa Prime. Imagine the devastation it would cause. Stormhan, the Fendris Isles. So you can see the severity of this, how serious this is.
Oh yeah.
So the so she says to you, and you know her because she's basically base commander. Um, but she's like, we can't. We have to get in there because hundreds of thousands of people's lives depend on it, or more. You know, if they blow up imagine if they blew up a reactor base in Stormhan, the devastation is unimaginable. You know, we've upped the security there, we've upped the security at all the bases, but somehow they're getting through, and we don't know why or how they're doing it. So it's up to you to find out. And she'll hand you a sort of
I know
file.
how.
Um, And in this file, it shows you the information that they have sort of disseminated into the pirate world about you and your crew. And it's gonna read like severe, like not, like severe nonfiction. I mean, it's like the brutality of you and your crew, and and she says it's the only way for them to respect you is to think that you are a threat to them and a threat to any merchant ships, any sailing ships, any even private ships, even other pirate ships. And they will have, and in that file, it does say that it that you took responsibility for an attack on a pirate convoy recently, and they left sort of clues there for them to see because you brand every ship that you brand it with your symbol on their mainmast, and then of course you take the captain. And they think you killed the captain, but you haven't. But to them, it looks like you did. So she goes through the file and she talks. Your crew has to be. They have to be pirates, and you have to
Understood.
be. You have to be one of the bloodthirstiest pirates there is. Otherwise, the Black Tide Syndicate won't even look at you. Do you think you can do that, Captain?
And the demolitions expert is currently detained.
Mm-hmm. He'll be released eventually.
Eventually. Um. Well, it's not a. It's really not a matter of if I can. It sounds like I have to, and so I will.
Okay. And she'll say, if you will come with me, Captain, we can get you the final sort of things that you need. So she'll take you through a doorway, which you've been through. It goes to an outer hallway that heads towards the observation deck. About midway down that hallway is an old credenza looking thing. She goes, there's a mirror above it. She goes to the mirror and she draws some sort of pattern on the mirror, and the wall slides open, and there's like an elevator behind it. She's like, if you'll come with me, and you go into the elevator, and the door closes, and it lowers down. It goes down past all the decks um, till it comes to the island beneath the sea level. The door opens, and there is a whole like underground group of people working on various things. There are maps, and you see people who are like basically creating scenarios. I mean, it's like a war room. And then she takes you from the elevator. She takes you um, to the commandant's office there. And she sits there and she gets behind the desk and she's like, okay, and she can have a seat. Um, and she goes back through your crew manifest a little bit, and she kind of rattles off your crew, A and Katerina and Gath, and talks about Antarak joining your crew as your weapons specialist. Nimitz will be joining your crew as your armorer,
Mhm.
um, and just sort of just runs down. And she'll ask if there's any in particular, are there any crew uh, that you wish to have on board that I didn't list, or that you wish to ask about.
Uh, no. I think everyone who is needed is here.
Okay. Um, and they'll go, oh yes, and don't, and then I can't. Oh, I'm sorry, last minute addition, which is your chief specialist Adder.
Mm-hmm.
He is also
Thank you.
on your manifest now, so he'll be on the crew as well.
Sounds good.
He will be working directly with Nimitz.
Wonderful. I'm sure that's going
And
to be quite the combination.
yeah, and also you will have. And it talks about Lieutenant Thaldrin Corv and our other Varian Blackthorn will be on as your doctor, or so your not really a doctor, but like someone who can help because you don't have doctors on your ship. And he'll also say that on the crew manifest you'll also have um. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me see. Oh, I'm trying to remember his name. What was his name? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I can't remember his name. Nick's character that he played. I'll find it. Anyway, he'll be on board as well. Cannot remember his character's name. But yeah, so she just sort of goes through last minute paperwork, sort of making sure everybody is understanding what they need to do, and how important this is to Fossa and Arya.
Mhm.
And then she'll tell you, it's like, be very aware that you're not just facing pirates out there, you're facing like non-conformists as well. The people that are against technology, you're going to be fighting against them as well. So if you have any to understand that, countries like uh here, let me go to the so everybody knows what we're talking about. Let me go to the map. So like the Holy State, Barham Free State, Kodesh, all of them are very much on the opposite side of where we are. And
Okay.
there's even some grumblings from East Haven. We think there's about to be a civil war breakout there, and that's going to change the game a lot.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to
So
know.
yeah. So just be aware that East Haven, East Haven is a thorn in our side.
Understood. Understood. That's definitely something I'm gonna have to keep an eye out on. But thank you.
Okay. And she'll say, okay. If you have no others, you may return and take command of your ship and prepare to leave, and or prepare for your official mission. Briefing will happen on board, and then you'll be set off on your first mission.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay. And she says, "You are dismissed."
And I salute and
Okay.
go about my way.
All right, cool. So you hit back to the elevator. It goes back up, slides open. You go into the hallway, slides closed, and it looks seamless. You can't even tell that there's a hidden passage there. It's just like, wow, okay. And she would have taught you the. She would have taught you the how what the figure you have to draw in the mirror. The great thing about that mirror is once you draw it on there, like the mirror fogs up and then basically cleans itself, so no one can like look at the design.
They can't trace the kind of
Right.
like
Correct.
smears.
Yep. Correct.
No smear tracing on this barge.
Nope.
Lordy. Sounds good.
Okay. So then you're back in the hallway, and your crew has been called to the Stormbreaker. Everyone has returned to the Stormbreaker.
All right.
Except for A.
the show on
A
the
is
road.
the only one who has not returned to the Stormbreaker.
Damn
He's
it.
still being detained. So yeah. You head to the Stormbreaker.
Yes.
All right. So at this point, the rain, for the most part, the rain has stopped. And it's not really sunny necessarily, but it is sort of. Here, let me turn off the ambience. So it. Let me turn off the rain as well. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I'm talking about. It's not raining anymore. Yeah, it's raining. Oh, okay, we'll just do that. There we go. All right. So it's sort of the sun has come out a little bit, but it's still because the island is shrouded in mist, which is technically artificial, to keep it hidden. And you head to the Stormbreaker uh, as the crew is getting on board. So as you get on board, Captain, you're met immediately by your first officer, by Morgan Blackfang.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Captain, we have a temporary engineer." And she introduces you to Dorian Blackwell,
Ah, okay.
who goes by Wrench. He will, and she'll say that he'll be taking over engineering while A is indisposed.
Understood. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the ship.
You too, Captain? Yes, sir. I mean, yes, Captain. Aye, sir. Aye, Captain.
Just get on the ship.
Aye. And he gets on the ship quickly. It's like, and goes to the engineering section.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you do? You're back on board. So what do you do? What's the first thing you do, Captain?
I think. Actually, the first thing I'm going to want to do is head up to the bridge. I haven't seen the bridge yet, so I'm interested to see how it looks.
Okay. So as you go to the bridge, is anyone on the bridge, like out of the crew? So all right, so Falcon's on the bridge. Anyone else?
Redbeard is on the bridge.
Who? Oh, Redbeard's on the bridge. Okay,
Redbeard.
okay. And then you'll have your normal bridge crew that are on there. Um,
Awesome.
like Lieutenant, like Aldrin, he'll be there. Your new pilot. And yeah, so when you walk onto the bridge, it literally looks like an old sailing ship bridge. There's just the big wheel. Off to the right, you have sort of maps and charts and the navigation section. You have sort of communications, and that's basically it. And then there are no chairs, so you're all standing basically like you would on a sailing ship. I mean, you would. Off the bridge is the captain's den, sort of his space, and that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
At this point, Katarina or Falcon, your let me see, who was it? Shadowbeard Kane, which is Declan, will come to you and with the captain's weapons for you to give to him, which would be his flintlock and his saber. And she'll say, here's captain's weapons as you requested," and he'll hand them to you, and then he'll go back to what you assigned him to do. But what do you do?
You're muted, Lisa.
Thank you. I will ask him to when everyone gets settled to reach out to specialist to Douglas, who is a
Douglas.
weapons specialist, to coordinate with maintenance and training.
Cool.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. So Douglas, you report to your station,
For sure.
which is down on the weapons deck,
Okay.
where you will encounter one Commander Nemitz.
Fantastic.
You see this sort of
Your new friend.
I need popcorn.
you see this sort of large, imposing figure, older man, sort of meandering about, barking at people. You'll meet Chief Specialist Adder, who is an explosives specialist. He'll probably be the very first one you meet because he'll come right to you. He is super high energy, just hey, hi, how are you? I'm Chief Specialist, Adder. Nice to meet you. And he puts his hand out to shake your hand.
Yeah, pleasure. Ahoy. Pleasure to meet you. What's your role on the ship?
Oh, I'm. If you want things blown up, I'm your guy.
I don't want anything blown up yet, but I'll keep
Here.
that in mind.
Here, let me. And he reaches in. He has this shoulder bag that he always has on, and he reaches into his bag and he hands you something. He goes, "Here, hang on to this in case you ever need it." And he kind of looks at it, he gives it to you, and he walks off. He's this, and it's like a cube-looking thing, but you have no idea what it does.
I'm gonna summon Hellraiser, right? That's what's gonna happen.
There you go. You got. Speaking of Adder, Mad Hatter, if you're in the
I
chat,
think a
you need to
pumpkin
give us
bomb.
a pirate name for Adder. Sorry. Go ahead, Gath.
I was just saying, just think of one of the pumpkin bombs from the Green Goblin.
That's fair. That's very fair.
That's basically what just got handed to you.
Yeah. And then so Adder just sort of like walks off. And you see him kind of go over to Nemitz. And Nimitz kind of turns to him and like looks at him, and then Adder just sort of goes, "My bad," and kind of slinks off. And then he turns and he spots you. And he says, "You, new guy, come here.
Reporting for duty. How can I help?
Okay, what am I supposed to call you?
Douglas Lamora.
All right, Doug. This is what's going to happen. I'm in command here. What I say goes. If you don't do what I have to say, then you go out the airlock. Understood?
With the airlock?
Are you going to get smart with me? Because I can show you where it's at firsthand.
Oh man. Oh. I am going to get smart with you, but in a good way, and not
Ooh.
right now.
How about in a good way you don't get smart with me and you turn around and go to your station?
Which would be.
Oh, dear God. He's going to go over. He's going to go over to the wall and he's going to hit the communications button to the bridge. So on the bridge you'll hear the which is the comm.
That's new.
Yeah, these are like you have to speak into them. It's like you hear it go off again.
Yes.
Thank God somebody's up there. Who are you people sending me?
Do
What's
I
your name again?
recognize the voice?
Douglas, I think is his name. I don't know. Did you guys not
Oh,
brief
the new
these
guy.
people before you sent them to me?
Uh, he was assigned to you, so I don't. I'm looking for the paperwork right now.
Of course you are. And click.
Oh no, I don't say that. I don't say that out
Just, like,
loud.
hangs
I'm
up.
like as I'm like stalling, I'm looking for paperwork to find
Oh,
figure
okay.
out
He's
where
like-
he was sent. 'Cause I just found out.
And he's going, I can hear you breathing.
I can only
Answer.
hold my breath for so long.
Answer. I need an answer. Time's
What's the
wasting.
What
Okay.
station is he?
What station is he?
Don't know. Met him today.
All right. Click. And he just hangs up. And he walks back over to Doug. And he goes, okay. Since obviously no one up there is competent enough, come with me. And he walks you to your station, which is basically the weaponry area, which is where you find where we have all our spare handguns and rifles. He says, this is your station. You're responsible for every single weapon in here, as well as every single bullet, any black powder, anything. It is on you. Understand?
I feel saying that I am like memorizing every like nail in the pieces of wood. The he is like committing this area to his memory as best as he can. He is nodding fervently.
All right. And he's like, okay. And he's just going to turn and walk away. And he goes to his station, which is standing in the middle of the room, barking orders at people. All right. So you've had your first introduction to Commander Nemitz, who I believe has a name now. Let me go find it. Sorry, Adder decided to name Nemitz.
Oh Lord.
Actually, it's pretty cool. His name, just so everybody knows, his name is Canker Grouch McFarland, and everybody calls him Grouch.
Canker?
Tanker Grouch McFarland.
Not bad, Hatter.
Yeah, I put it in the
Not
I put
bad,
it in the
Hatter, but
Twitch chat.
jeez.
So all right, um so Douglas, you had your
Well,
first
he is
run
a
in
tinker,
with
so
with um with Nimitz. What's Douglas thinking right now?
Douglas is rapidly learning as much as he can about this weaponry because I don't think he knew a lot about it before he got here. So he is dissecting it in his mind. Like, how does this work? What does this look like? What does it need to be? And he's looking for some kind of ledger or book of yeah. What is this station that I am
It
in charge
is
of?
more of like a room. It's like a
Okay.
munitions room.
Okay.
Um, it's sort of in the center of the weapons deck, and it's a long room, really about the size of a closet widthwise. But it's got shelving and things hanging on either side, like rifles in their stands, pistols on racks, and there's barrels of like black powder, and there's shot and wadding, and I mean everything you need to fire a basically a flintlock weapon is in here.
Okay. Cool.
And then there's also attached to that is the black powder bay, which is it runs the full center of the ship just behind this sort of weapons area, and it goes downstairs into the underhull where you find all the black powder
Okay.
and and all of the and because all of the cannonballs and things percussive stuff is already on the weapons deck. So you but that's your area as well. So you have to keep inventory of all of that.
And I think as he's acquainting himself, he's also trying to not necessarily make friends, but at least make himself known among the crew. You know,
Absolutely.
gather
Adder,
name.
I mean, Adder will be your best friend.
Yeah. So
He is just super enthusiastic.
perfect.
Okay. All right, let's go back up to the bridge. Right after Nemitz or Grouch has hung up on the captain.
Mm-hmm.
I will give
I'm
him his
like,
weapons.
You may want these right now.
yeah. Um, Kedek is gonna look at the flintlock and the blade. What kind of blade did you say it was again?
It's like a cutlass.
Okay.
You know, the most piratey
And
sword in the world.
yeah, he's like looking at it and is kind of in his mind thinking about what he was told of how ruthless he needs to sound, how he needs to look, how he needs to behave
Hmm.
as he's looking at it, and that's he's gonna turn
Captain.
to he's gonna turn to Katarina or Falcon, sorry, and say, "How likely is it to make this blade look like it's stained with blood? Like it's cut through so many people that it's actually beginning to stain."
Like mine, and I'll show you both of my cutlasses, which look well
Maybe a
used.
maybe a bit deeper red. 'Cause I think I've come up
Absolutely.
with I think I've come up with my name.
Oh, really? What is it?
Captain Silverblood.
Ooh, silver
Silver.
blood.
Because all they see when I'm slashing through them is just the silver of the blade and the blood splatting out.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it. Captain
Um,
Silverblood.
we
Nice.
do have a 6-person security team on board that I handpicked. One of them will be setting up training sessions for the entire crew with cutlasses, flintlocks, and uh, the
Rifles.
yeah. So they'll be
Sounds
training
good.
everyone you included, Captain.
Fantastic. I am looking forward to this. And he's just looking at his own reflection in the blade.
Love it.
He's like starting to get into character now. For
Um,
better or worse.
with your permission, there's not really a place for me here, so I think I will go to the battle bridge and kind of make that my headquarters. If that's okay with you.
Sounds good. I'll see you later then.
I
We gotta get used to this
I
this way.
Captain. You know.
That's funny. Okay.
We are a bunch of myth misfits. Wow.
Boy, are you.
It's not even that late yet for me, and I can't talk.
Fair enough. All right. So as you know, Katarina or Falcon goes to her nest, basically. Um, Gath, what are you up to?
Uh, Gath is just, uh, well, he nodded approvingly of uh, the name Silverblood, and uh, he just goes about doing his duties,
Okay. Cool.
basically going back to his station.
Okay. Going back down to your transport bay. Okay.
Yep.
That's funny. All right. So as you guys are sort of like getting yourselves and situated and all that, and sort of familiarizing yourself with everything. So, for our guests' purpose here, I will tell you about the Stormbreaker. So, the weapons deck is mid of the ship. It's the midline, which is on each side of the deck. It's an open deck concept. On each side of the deck are four percussive cannons. There are large stacks of like cannonballs and that sort of munitions, including all the munitions in the munitions room and the gunpowder hold. Um, as you go up two decks, or up a deck is sort of the crew quarters. Up in the next deck is sort of the where like the mess is, that sort of thing. And then the main deck, and then the bridge deck, and then below you is basically the underhull, which is where the engineering section is, uh, mostly. And there are some other there's like storage holds, which are at this point are packed to the gills, or not packed to the gills, but and there's enough in them. Um, so that's sort of the structure. And then as you go above the bridge deck, there is the main balloon, um, and then above that is what's known as the battle bridge. It's a secondary bridge, an observation point. There's also a crow's nest. Um, the balloon itself can detach from the ship,
Oh, cool.
and the ship can become a water vessel as opposed to an air vessel. and when it's ready to read, the balloon can be by on the secondary bridge can be brought back down. That can reconnect and then take off from the water. Um, the the engines are standard sort of steam, sort of jet engine type engines, mostly for just sort of thrust, and the liftoff happens from the balloon and thrusters. But yeah, that's basically it. It's pretty simple. It's very, very simple ship. Nothing, no bells and whistles to it. There are two grappling hooks as well. There's one forward, one aft. If we needed to grapple a ship or that sort of, there's three. There's also there's four. I'm sorry. Dang it. There's one on each side of the ship and one
Five.
forward and one aft. Sorry, no, there's four. Because I was like, oh, I was the two on the sides. So you've got one to port, one to starboard, one to the bow of the ship, one to the stern. And then 8 total percussive cannons. And then everybody has handguns and sabers or daggers. They always have weaponry on them. But yeah, but you're also responsible for all that as well, by the way. Making sure everybody's has their weapons, make sure they know how to use them, clean them, etc., etc.
When you say use them, you mean like training?
You'll be part of the training. Yes, you'll be part of that.
Limited selection of rifles.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you've got the security, the training specialist that'll work with you. That's Declan.
Yeah,
That's what I told you about.
Mr. Frost.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna go find Doug.
Okay.
I know. I'm walking into the lion's den, but I gotta get it over with.
Yeah, you are. Okay, that's fine. So you're heading down there. Captain, the liaison from the island, will come on board with your first mission. She'll tell you that you are going. Here are the coordinates to where you need to go, and you are basically attacking a merchant ship. Your mission is to incapacitate them, steal their cargo, take their captain, and then you will brand your symbol onto the mast of their ship or somewhere prominent. Doesn't necessarily have to be on the mast, but it has to be somewhere prominent, and it needs to be wherever you choose to put it. It needs to be in that spot on every ship that you go to.
Right.
They'll let you decide what that is.
Okay.
And the ship that you are attacking is called. Let me pull up my notes real quick. Sorry. It is called the Gilded Horizon.
Gilded Horizon. All right.
And they'll go into her specs. She's bigger than you are. Not huge, not hugely bigger than you are, but she's a much larger ship. And she is not heavily armed. She will put up a fight because all merchant ships will. So you'll need to incapacitate her weaponry and board her, like grapple her, maybe board her, however you need to do it. Contain the crew and the passengers and offload her cargo, and of course take the captain.
If our cargo, are we all privy to this, or?
Yeah, you will all be briefed on this. This is just her briefing to the captain. So, and you'll need to the merchant crew and passengers. It needs to seem like you execute their captain. So you'll need to decide how to do that in visual range.
Mm-hmm.
so that they see it happen, and then get out of there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And she'll hand you your mission, basically your mission brief, um, and it's all written like a pirate would write it. So it's not
Yeah.
like formal or anything. It's literally like on old parchment and sort of handwritten, um, and it's by like the head of your syndicate, basically.
Sounds good.
And
All
what
right.
was the? Didn't y'all guys come up with the pirate name, the group name? What was that? I didn't write it down. Believe it or not. Do you guys remember what your pirate group name was?
Ghost of the Abyss.
Ghost of the Abyss. That's what you're known as.
Ooh. All right.
The Abyss.
Mwahaha.
Put it up to the audience to vote on it.
Yeah, that's right. I just couldn't remember which one won. Um, and it's signed by the leader, I guess you might say, of the Brass Reapers Syndicate,
Mm-hmm.
which is your syndicate, so that if they ever find the papers, um, it'll be because they'll see a syndicate name and they'll be like, "What? We gotta find out who this is." So that is your syndicate name. But you're Ghosts of the Abyss. That's your crew name.
Awesome.
Okay, and she will she'll exit the ship, and now it's all to you, sir. Debrief your crew and get underway.
Sounds good. All right. If you would call my crew up for a meeting, I'll go ahead and brief them, and we can be on our way.
And your the folks on the bridge are looking at you like, I think you just yell for them. Like,
Ah.
it's like,
Um.
I think you go
Cool.
to the main deck
I
or something. I don't know.
I will do that. Please pretend I am screaming for my crew because I'm not going to do that at close to midnight in my apartment building.
Well, that would be yeah. We don't want you to do that.
No,
So
I'll try to get a noise complaint.
you can go out onto the bridge deck there, right outside the bridge, and you can like ring. There's a bell there. You can ring the bell, and
All right.
everybody will hear the bell ring.
That's what I'll do.
Calling the crew. And once you ring the bell, the crew will the crew will start to come up onto the deck.
Fantastic.
So the whole crew is there. Um, and Falcon, you will meet Douglas as you guys are coming up. So you guys can have your little thing. Nimitz is on his way up too, so
Yep.
he'll see you and he'll just look at you and he'll just keep walking.
And that's fine.
He's just like,
That's what is expected.
it's a lot of and just keeps walking.
Hey, he didn't yell at me. I'm happy.
True, because you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
You'll find a reason. I'm not worried.
Okay, so you meet
I've
Doug.
been yelled at twice already.
You have been. So you meet Douglas.
Scared.
Yeah.
I've
It
been
won't be
yelled
the
at, okay?
it won't be the last time. It won't be the last time.
Nope.
All right. So if you want to have a little thing with Douglas here, you're welcome to have this before you go to the deck, upper deck.
Yeah, Douglas, a moment.
Yes. Yeah, Falcon.
The, the captain has requested a new cutlass. He wants it battle worn and bloodstained. If you can
Okay.
prepare that, and then we'll swap it out with the one he has.
So he okay.
Yeah.
And do
The,
we have
the bloodier the better.
a bloody
His word.
cutlass?
Probably
Bloodstained.
like a
Oh,
little, little chinks taken out of it, like it's been battle
You
worn.
can feel free to tell him what the name I came up with was to give him an idea of how bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Silverblade.
How bloody? Yes.
Yes.
can I
And you
swing
have
it?
and there's a space in your area for weapons creation, basically, where you can do things like this.
So
So you
what's your role, Falcon? What are you in charge of?
Security.
Okay. So you're security, I'm weaponry. So we should be working hand in hand pretty close.
Yes. And this is just kind of a side. Don't let Grouch get you down.
Oh, he's all right.
Mm-hmm.
funny thing is that Douglas is probably the one crew member he'll like make a connection with.
I mean, he's loud, but I mean, that's all right.
He knows his stuff.
For sure, for sure.
All right, then we'll continue on.
Okay. All right, so you guys get to the bridge, or up to the upper deck. Sorry, not the bridge. The whole crew is on the bridge, or on the deck there, and you're up above. The bridge crew are kind of out with you, listening. So, address your crew.
Yeah. And I will. Oh. I will begin to address my crew. I will put on probably the best pirate captain voice I can, as growly and gruff as I can. Again, I wish I could do it now, but my throat is not up for it.
Don't do that. It's okay.
let me prepare ahead of time because I do have warm ups for that.
I do not wish to put you on the spot. You may do as you please.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I'll have to tap into a couple of my vocal trainings for that. But I'll go ahead and like I will basically brief them on the situation, let them know this is our target. Our goal is to incapacitate the crew, get their cargo, and capture the captain. Um, Remember, we're known to be a ruthless pirate crew. So don't forget. So don't hold back. I look forward to seeing you all out there. Now, everyone to your stations. Let's get going.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah. Everyone's. I yeah.
Alright.
And they will then everyone will go to their stations. We'll get to the and at which point you're ready to go.
All right.
Just bark the orders.
Get out of here.
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
That's so funny. It's like,
I love it.
I'm not gonna use my normal
bloodthirsty
catchphrase
pirate.
on this.
I'm the most
I'm
bloodthirsty
not gonna use
pirate.
my
Can we
regular
just go,
catchphrase
guys?
on this.
Can we just go?
Can we just go? I'm bored. I'm bored. Can we go?
So the crew will they'll undo the moorings, they'll pull in everything. You'll hear the engines rev up as the Stormbreaker slowly rises off the island. Um, as you clear the sort of clear the forest, you get high enough. Your pilot will say thrusters ahead full or half, and the ship will start to move forward. Lay in a heading. The bridge is it's doing its thing. They're working like clockwork, and then the ship will veer off and start on its new heading as it heads to the rendezvous point. It'll take you a couple of hours to get there, so to where they're going to be. So you have a couple of hours to kill before you have to kill, so to speak. So what do you do in these 2 hours?
Um, I think Kedek right now is studying up on his materials, trying to like kind of hype himself into this character. Um, yeah, just really anticipating this moment, just trying to prepare himself as best as he can for what is about to happen, what he's what he's got himself into, so to speak.
Okay.
Yet again.
Okay. Um, in your sort of briefing that you received, as you kind of read through it again, just to sort of, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to do. In there, it does say that you need to make contact with an operative on board the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and uh, and its name, and it gives you the name, and it's Deadeye Davis.
Okay.
And it kind of goes into who he is. I mean, he knows he's an operative in the fact that he knows like crew rosters of most of the pirate ships out there.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a list for you, and you need to make contact with him without compromising his undercover work.
Okay.
So that's one thing you have to do. Either you need to do it or one of your team needs to do it.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. I
I'll be
will.
right back.
I will let my team know. Um, when the time comes.
Okay. All right. What about Falcon? What are you up there doing?
Do we know any information about the layout of most merchant ships, or
No, not really.
we
I
don't
mean,
know
you
where
do. You know, like where the holds are and things like that.
weapons?
Yeah. Well, you'll know. Well, there's no way to know specifically on weapons because some merchant ships don't tell people what weaponry they have.
Mhm.
So this merchant ship could have basic weapons, which would be like maybe 4 cannons, and then handguns and hand weaponry. But you don't really know for sure though, because there's just no way of knowing until you encounter them. Now you know that in the briefing, that everybody would have read, would have gotten a copy of it and would have read it, or would have read the one that was given. And it talks about the Gilded Horizon. It's a large merchant ship. So it's probably, and again, this is just based on what people know or base that sort of thing, that she's got about 6 guns, 6 cannons, but mostly it's going to be her crew is armed. Because she's basically like a gold ship. I mean, she's carrying like gold and coins and sort of things like that. She's a precious metal ship, so she's gonna be pretty armed, but not so much because she doesn't want to draw attention to herself. But you know that it'll be a fight,
Okay.
and you've got to be strategic about it. The intel that you were given, and Nimitz would have this for weaponry, for the armory, uh, that sort of thing, is that she's not a mid level gunnery ship. She's an upper deck gunnery ship. So on her gun decks are on the second and third, or on the third. I think they're on the third deck on her schematic, as opposed to on the mid deck. So they're higher, which could be a problem because especially if you guys are like sort of even, then she's shooting higher on you than you will be on her. So that's the thing you have to think about. We have to be higher than her, or we need to approach it strategically, basically. And then it's the and she is an airship. She's a airship. So you can force her to the water. You'll have to take out her engines, um, which is probably going to be your best bet, is to try to take out her engines.
Okay. So that's kind of what I'm going through before I strategize with the captain. Like, what's our best
Okay.
way to incapacitate her quickly?
Okay. And you're going to want to share that with Nimitz as well.
Yes.
All right. So, of course, the engineers are doing their thing. They're keeping the engines going and cool, and um, keeping them from popping off. And of course, you'll need to keep Douglas in that loop as well. Gath, what do you do? If you have a couple hours, what are you doing?
Um, at one point during the 2 hours, I'll go pay Grouch a visit.
Okay. Everybody just wants to go see. He's just like, leave me alone. Okay, so you're gonna go see. Go. Okay, you can go down and see him. If you go down, he'll be there. He'll be barking orders at his crew, making sure that the cannons are ready to go. He's got them loaded and packed. He's ready. He's got the grapples ready to go. He's just waiting for the go. He's got Douglas doing his work down there. He's got everybody hustling and bustling like a well-oiled machine. So what do you wanna talk to him about?
I'll say, permission to speak freely, sir.
Okay.
I wanted to say it's good to have you with us again, sir.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I can't say that I'm happy to be back, but okay.
I hope you like the addition of rifles to our selection of weapons. It was my idea.
Yeah, rifles are great.
Thought they'd be useful for 40.
but can anybody use them? That's the question. They're going to be useless unless they can use them
Well,
properly.
that's why we.
I mean,
Well,
no, it's great. I mean, rifles are great. They're better than
just
pistols.
uh, well, fortunately, we have somebody who can train us.
Huh. What is what does she go by? A falcon bird
Well, I
thing? I don't
just
know.
wanted
What does
to
she think about?
make
So
sure
what
you
is
got a
her?
proper welcome you deserve.
Oh yeah, that's where we go. So how does falcon person? What is that? What it is? Bird? Some bird name? I don't know what it is. What is? How does she feel about rifles? She okay? I mean, that's her her area. So not that I really care, but it's important that
You
she's
like the idea too.
okay. All right, that's fine. All right, well, I gotta get back to this, so you can go now. 'Cause-
Yep.
and he goes back, and he just goes and goes back to what he was doing. not really into small talk. And he'll go over to Doug, and he'll be like, "How's the
And then
captain's
he'll go
cutlass?"
back to
Oh,
his department.
okay, awesome. Douglas, do you have the captain's cutlass ready?
Uh, that's gonna take a minute.
Wow, really? Huh.
Uh,
You're new to this, aren't you?
well, I mean, how? Well, he wants it bloody,
Yeah,
so
we'll
I
give
was
it to
gonna
him.
give it to one of our biggest, baddest, beefiest guys and let him ding it up a bit.
Well,
I mean, do you want me to kill people? I don't know how you want me to get it bloody.
it's like, he just kind of shakes his head. He goes, "Take the sword to the mess. Talk to the cook."
Sounds like you have a plan. Here it is. And then he's off doing something else.
He just got it, and he didn't even take it. You literally did it, let go, and it hit the floor.
That's fine.
He's like, "Well, that's your job. I'm gonna let you do it. So you need to do
Okay.
that. So why don't you do that before you go do other things? So because
I
captain
was gonna
wants
make
it, and
sure
it's
the
important."
crew, like all of the people, had their weapons working, not just one guy.
Yeah, that's great. But that one guy is the captain, and as a pirate crew, captain always first. So get on that. And he's gonna turn and he's gonna walk away.
All right. I look down at the sword, look at him turning away, going, "Huh, not today."
pick, pick your battles wisely.
Um, so I
Okay.
guess he'll run with this idea of taking the sword down to the mess, and he doesn't have much more instruction other than that. Um, I do have a question while we're kind of prepping
Sure.
about like magic. Like, what kind of magic would I have access to or knowledge of, or something like that?
That really
And you
depends
don't have to get
on.
super specific. I'm just kind of
No,
looking
that's
for.
fine. It's mostly what is it? What do you guys have access to at this point? For those of you who do magic, because I think Katarina, or you do magic, right?
I do.
What levels are you at?
Um,
Like, what
hang
have
on.
you?
I gotta. I'll have to figure out where that is. Hang on.
That's okay. I want to say it's like the lower levels,
Sure. Okay.
like any of your first, second level, you have those. You
Okay.
have access to those.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if y'all are level 3 or not. Level 3 magic. I can't remember. We can figure that out though, because we haven't really
Okay.
used magic at this point.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, we can get that. But yeah, I know for sure the first and second level for sure.
Okay. Just across the board, as long as I
Yeah.
can make the rolls, I
Hmm.
can do
Yep.
that stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Very cool. Cool. That gives me
Yes,
a
because
framework to work.
yeah, because you would have gone through the academy, and in the academy you would have gone through a specific school, but then
Okay.
you would have had time to pick and choose from the others.
Okay.
So yeah, you would be able to basically have a collection from the various schools.
Okay. Cool. Um, that being said, yeah, he will head to the mess hall.
Okay.
Um, he's not exactly sure what to do. 'Cause
Okay. Well,
he
you that's fine. You get to the mess hall and you meet Cookie. He's there. He's like, "Hey, what can I do for you?"
I need this saber to look. Ahoy! Uh, Yon matey, I need this saber to look like it did prickle the pup of your unborn mother's friend.
And he looks at you and he goes, "So you need it bloody?"
Yes.
Okay. So he takes it from you. And he goes into the kitchen. And you'll hear clang clang. You'll hear him like banging around. And you'll hear what sounds like, like metal on metal, and then you'll hear like what sounds like he's stabbing somebody, like the sound of like it going into flesh. And then you'll hear it stop, and then he'll be doing other things. And he'll come back out. It's probably about 15, 20 minutes. He comes back out and he tosses it to you. And he goes, "You need to let it dry, but in about an hour, if you wipe all of that off of the blade, it will be crimson red." And it's like
Perfect.
this gooey, I mean, it's like ooey, it's like dripping off. It's just this gunk. Yeah, so, and it doesn't smell good either. So he says, yeah, in about an hour, just wipe it off with a cloth, and it'll be right where you want it to be.
Perfection.
Yep, all right. Is that it? Is that all you needed?
I think so.
All right, and he goes back into the kitchen to do his thing. All right. So as you're doing all of these things, Captain Silverblood, uh, the your navigation officer or the person at navigation will say, "We're coming upon our target. We're within visual range. Should I fly? Should we fly the colors?" You're muted.
Yes, get to it.
All right, and calls for the colors to be raised. The flag will go up, and you are now going to be engaged in your first fight. So as you come upon the Gilded Horizon, you see her immediately. Once your colors go up, she will immediately turn to in a defensive stance. So what is your approach? So she has put herself in a defensive stance. What's your approach? Falcon, you were involved in this. So you had ideas, right?
Yes.
Now's your chance.
Okay. I'm assuming I've probably come back to the bridge and gone over my ideas,
I would assume so.
and I guess I talked to Grouch about the plan also.
You probably didn't talk to Grouch. You may have talked to Adder.
Okay. So I think the recommendation is to come from above. Um, if possible, with the cannons, try and take out the engine, force her down.
Okay. And the one of
By
the
the way,
bridge.
Will,
Yeah.
you gave Henry's character to Lieutenant Commander.
Oh, there you go, Lieutenant Commander. Then. on track. Thank you.
Oh,
I couldn't remember.
hey,
Um, yeah. Um, so one of the bridge crew will say, if we're going to go for their engine, shouldn't we come from up from below? I mean,
As long as we st-
are we wanting to
as long as
triple?
we keep her cannons away from our engines.
Oh yeah, then we probably want to come from either behind or below.
Yes.
That's your pilot talking.
Yes.
Um, and they'll just look for everyone's going to look at you, Captain.
I recommend a combination of the two.
Come from behind and below. So, Captain.
We'll start off below to come around to their rear and then hit them from behind.
So, okay, you've gotten recommendations. So, Captain, you need to call. You got to make the call. You're getting really close.
Let's approach from below.
Okay. Your pilot will take her down, and we'll go below. And they will call down to the gun deck to open the hatches. They'll open the gun hatches. The cannons will come out. You will then sort of come from underneath and kind of go. And she's trying to do a quick turn to kind of counter you. At which point, she fires the first volley. Sorry, I gotta pull my dice out because I don't have a sheet for her yet. Okay, she has 4 cannons, right? Oh, I said 3 cannons, right? She has three. Yeah, she has 3 on each side. So, okay, so boom, boom, boom. She fires off her first 3 cannons. The first one misses. The second one does hit the bow of the ship as you're coming kind of under. She's kind of flipping to counter you. The third one misses. 2. We fire back. Oop. 2 of ours hit. Do we hit? We miss the engines. The first volley, and we pass. The ships pass one another. She begins to come around. The Stormbreaker starts to come around. And as you guys come around, she does a maneuver that you're not familiar with. And she like dives towards the Stormbreaker, like she's gonna ram her. And you are able to get out of the way. So she doesn't. She misses just at the back. What do you do next? So she's now moved away from you, and you're kind of moving away from her, going one way, and she's kind of going this way. So what do you order him to do, Captain?
Mm,
As you hear cannons going, you feel the ship shudder as you get hit again. This time Nimitz gets 3 hits on her.
Ah.
So she's smoking at this point.
I see where she's slowing down.
Yeah. Nah, she's still kind of going pretty well. She's not. Didn't look like we've hit her engines yet.
Aim to try to disable her
Okay.
to make it easier for us to board.
Let me see what the pilot. Roll his mechanical. Your pilot says. She's the Stormbreaker. She's getting hard to steer, Captain. We must have taken damage in her rudder. I mean, she's turning, but she's tough. It's tough to turn her. You can see the gilded horizon. She looks like she's trying to make a run for it.
We can't let her make a run for it. Absolutely not.
Okay. What's your orders?
Uh, is it easy to see their engines?
Yeah, their engines are sort of outboard on either side towards the back. They kind of run the from midship to the back. They're
Any
exterior engines, basically, or not exterior engines, but the propulsion part of it is on the outside.
any chance we can get a clear shot on those engines?
If you catch up to her,
Mm.
you could catch up to her. You just got to
Yeah,
get turned
let's
around
try
and
to
go.
catch up. We
Okay,
can't. Yeah, we can't let them
right.
get out of range.
I'm gonna have you roll a mechanical check for me.
Mechanical. All right.
Let's see if we can get this ship turned around.
Let me see. Mechanical. Ooh. Thank you. Level up. Nope.
Nope.
Well,
So
it's still
it's
four.
okay. You can see that the pilot is struggling to turn her. Um, down below deck, Nemitz is calling out to crew to go check the rudders because we got hit in the stern. Crew will go down. Oh, that's a good roll for them. They will see that a piece of shrapnel has lodged into one of the rudders, and they go to remove. Oh, boom! That's a 6 on that bad boy. So yeah, they're able to pop that shrapnel out of the rudder, and the rudder just goes, and the ship does a very sharp turn. Everybody kind of shifts to one side. Think of it like a Star Trek episode. It's like, yeah, as the ship does a very quick sort of turn, and the pilot's like, oh, okay, I've got her. She's in. She straightens her out, and we start heading. He calls down to the engine room, full speed ahead. He does the ching ching, and the engines just go. You feel the ship jerk forward. As you close the gap pretty easily, because she looks pretty bad in her engines. Her engines are not firing all the way, so maybe we think you can assume that one of the hits must have hit their engine room or something, disrupted something. But they're not necessarily like zipping away; they're kind of limping away. Okay, so you guys catch up to them pretty quickly. So how do you want to approach this?
Right. Uh, approach from the side. Prepare to board.
Okay. Uh, Nimitz and his crew runs from one side of the ship to the other, and he prepares the grapple. As you pull up to the side of the ship, there, let's see, one of their cannons goes off and hits. The other two do not hit. Hits the bow of the ship a little bit and kind of hits a hole in the upper area, just below the main deck. But you're able to let's have Katarina Falcon. You roll a mechanical check this time to see if you can get the grapple to fire. That way, I'm not rolling all the rolls.
Okay.
Boop, boop. 2. Okay. Um, it's Nimitz will call up and go, "We're too close. We're too close. We're too close. Back off. Back off."
It should be a 3.
That's fine. That's fine. He'll just say he'll still call up, "Go. We're too close. We're too close. Back up. Back off. Back off." Which the pilot will then thrust us slightly away, and then they'll fire the grapple. And let me see where we hit. Okay. The grapple hits into the side, right at their mid cannon, taking the cannon out, and it goes through. And when the grapple goes through, it just goes and just pulls into the ship and just tears through the decks above and below. And then immediately they start cranking the ships closer together. And Nimitz will then order the cannons to be fired. Oh, that's good. He'll take out the other two cannons on that side,
Yes.
Oh, nice.
and you are able to. And the gangplank goes across. You're able to board her.
Prepare to board.
And
Let's get us some booty.
and then you'll hear Nimitz will call up, going, "Arm yourselves." And you guys will go to the deck to the gangplank, and that's when the crew from the Gilded Horizon, they pull their guns and their sabers, and that's where we're gonna stop tonight.
I knew it.
Oh,
Good, because I gotta look up my spells, because I actually
Yeah.
don't remember what spells I have.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, so that's where we're gonna stop tonight. So next time when we are back, which will be, anybody got their calendar in front of them?
30th.
The 30th. Oh, we're back here on the 30th for WindRiders.
We're not,
Oh, we
but I
are.
think so.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is not our last one before the new year. So we'll have one more WindRiders before the new year.
Yep,
That's
the day
okay.
before New Year's Eve.
Perfect. So in 2 weeks, you'll come back and see how this fight goes. Because now we go from cannons to hand, and that's where it's going to get hairy. So it's going to be super fun, super fun, super fun. Super excited. I can't wait.
Except for those of us that are shooting rifles.
Yes. For those of you who stay on with the rifles, because they have rifles as well. So
We're not using the rifles. We haven't been trained with them yet.
fair.
Oh,
I mean, you could
my.
use them. Maybe they'll, that'll be a chance. Maybe they'll blow up in your face. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. So, but yeah. So next week, not next week, but in 2
They're
weeks,
just
come
a
back and
metaphor for
see.
flintlock.
That's true. But we'll come back next in 2 weeks to see how this fight goes. Hopefully, at that point, Kel will join us, and we'll get him on board and do some fun stuff with him. So yeah, let's go up and down. Let's so you can tell people who you are, who you played, once again, and where they can find you. If you got any projects going on, and what's your character thinking about as you're going into your first fight? So we'll start with Slayer.
Hi everybody, I am Old Worm Slayer. I have been playing Redbeard, and you can find me, I believe, if I'm understanding correctly, not this following Thursday, but the Thursday after Christmas here for Reign of Vecna. Am I incorrect on that, Riku?
Yes, we will be meeting right after Christmas.
The 26th.
Yes.
Okay, and then the Monday you will also find me here for WindRiders of Aria, where we will have to test our luck with outdated weaponry that should actually be very simple to use.
It's always the simple weapons that are not so simple.
After all, the rifles are just longer. After all, a rifle is just a longer version of the flintlock.
Oh,
They
absolutely,
use the
but
same loading and same
it's
trigger
gonna be
mechanism.
fun to watch. It's gonna be so fun to watch. All right.
And little did
Uh,
they know, Redbeard already knows how to use one.
that's fair. All right. Lisa.
Hey, I'm Lisa, D&D Winterwolf on TikTok and Discord. I play Lieutenant Katerina Zafirian, aka Falcon, security officer. You can find me every Monday night here on Halfling Wizard channel for either WindRiders of Aria or on the opposite Mondays, Orlea Origins, where I play Willow and Eladrin Druid. We'll be back not on the 23rd, I'm assuming, so we'll be back with that on the 6th of January. Is that correct?
For what was that now? I'm sorry.
For Origins.
We'll be here on the 23rd.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I wasn't
Yes.
sure if we were breaking that whole week or
No.
not.
No.
You can also find me every other Wednesday, including this Wednesday, the 18th, for the Halfling Wizards channel for the Liminal Blink, where I play Smoke on the Water, a Tabaxi Ranger. And every other Friday on Celtic Wyvern King's channel for his Stargate campaign, which is so much fun, including an upcoming crossover with Orlea Origins that we all cannot wait for. I don't know if we've actually picked a date or not. I'll let Will address that, but it'll be in January. And love this game, love this group.
Okay, Lisa, I have to ask, did your character have a companion named Credence?
What was
I
that?
don't, I don't understand. Cricket?
Credence Clearwater Revival?
Clearance. Oh, Credence.
No, Credence.
Yeah, that's what I. That's what I had. Credence. I got you now. Clearwater Revival. That's funny.
I don't get it, but okay. I miss things. You know?
One of their songs is Smoke on the Water.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a Credence.
They have a
Um,
song called Smoke on the Water.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
Gotcha. Okay. If I don't, if people aren't here next Monday, although I hope you are for Origins because that's a lot of fun, but if not, I hope everyone has a blessed and safe holiday, including all my fellow castmates. And that's it for me.
funny. Okay. Let's say Chris next.
All right. Hello. I'm Riku. You can find me on social media as Pup Riku or Puppy Riku. As for games, oh, tonight I played Captain Kedek, also known as Captain Silverblood, which is gonna be fun. You can find me on Vibe Tribe Productions on Gaia Chronicles, where I play Drolor, a giant time mage. You can also find me here on Halfling Wizard, obviously every other Monday here. You can also find me on Queers every other Saturday, where I play Kyler, who is a freedom loving pirate. So another pirate for me to handle. Um,
Yeah.
eh, hey, two different universes.
Yeah. Two different definitions of pirate.
Yes, yes, yes. Will has seen the hero forge of my
Yes.
character, and
It's fabulous.
let's just say, there's a reason the game is called Queers.
Yes, that is true. It is fabulous.
Yes, it is very fabulous. And then, of course, you can find me here every other Thursday as Dungeon Master for Reign of Vecna. Last time I mentioned that we were going to be coming back in the new year. However, after checking with Will and checking with the rest of our cast, we will have one more session before the end of the year on December 26th, the day after Christmas. Which will be a lot of fun because they are at the end of the first chapter. So I'm really excited to conclude this before 2024 ends. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And just in general, I hope everyone has a happy holiday. I hope everyone stays safe, safe travels. I hope you get everything you wanted and more. And we will see you next time.
Awesome. And of course, last but not least, our special guest, Henry.
Yeah, I'm Henry. I go by MC Henry on a lot of things. I run Monster of the Week for Gestelheim Productions. I'm also they just released a thing where I am a podcaster, uh, trying to escape from a podcon in kind of a ridiculous adventure.
Fun.
Also on Gestelheim Productions, that was pretty fun. I played a guy called BB or Boogie Boogie. Um,
Love it.
and other than that, well, I am doing hopefully a dinner and a game tomorrow night and Wednesday night, both in two different games. And I'm in a few different places. I usually do stuff for charities. So,
Okay.
And who's your little friend?
oh, this is Zazu, named after Zazu
Zazu.
Pitts, who was a comedian in the 1920s because she has furry eyebrows. She was
Love.
originally named Groucho Marx because we thought she was a boy, and then when we found out she was a girl, we renamed her. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, she is my lap companion. So
Love it. So
Love it, love
cool.
it.
All right. And of course, I am Will of the Halfling Wizard of Halfling Wizard Productions.
And
And what was that?
that wasn't the Zazu I was thinking of when I heard the name.
Okay. Yeah, make sure you come back and check us out. Next Monday, we will be doing Origins, which will be our last episode of Origins before the new year. Um, and we're into the spooky forest that's very reminiscent of a dark Wizard of Oz. So come and check that out. Super fun. Of course, you can if you join our Discord, you can find out all of our awesome games and then when they go and how they go. And if you're also interested in like DMing, you've always wanted to DM a thing, we have our Chaoticum, which is basically where if you come in to our Discord, you talk with me and say, "Hey, I have this thing I'd love to run." We'll see if we can get you some players, and we'll stream it. We just did one. We just did Jurassic Genesis. Celtic Wyvern King ran that one, and that one was super fun. That's where this mug comes from, which is the My To Do List coffee number 2. Avoid being eaten by a dinosaur. Um, because that's one of the characters. I think it was Danny's character that said it. But we have some really fun merch. Speaking of, you can go check out our merch store, and we've got some very show-specific merch. We have some channel-specific merch, and we have some just random merch on there. And also, if we want to say thanks to our chatters, any subscriptions, bits, if you join our Patreon. If you join our Patreon, you can get some really cool homebrew items that we use in some of the campaigns. You can also find the session 0 of the Reign of Vecna there, that only our patrons have access to. And all of that money that we make from any of those things, always it goes right back into the channel where we help our players and DMs with whatever we can. Just recently, we did do a GoFundMe, but we for one of our players here to get him a new laptop, which we got him, and we had some money in our account, so I took that and put it on top of the GoFundMe, and we got him a really nice
It's a beautiful
laptop.
red laptop.
But that's what we do. That's what we're here to do. So none of that goes in my pocket. None of it goes into our players' pockets. It literally goes to help us keep the channel going. And if you ever feel like you want to just donate to us, you can tip us. There's on the Twitch link on the Twitch page. There's a place to tip, things of that nature. If you just feel generous, that's great. Like I said, it all goes back to the channel. Yes, we are doing a collaboration with Celtic Wyvern King in January. It is January 3rd. Yeah, January 3rd. We are going to do a crossover campaign of his Stargate campaign and my Orleo Origins campaign. You're going to see some of these folks there, and we're going to try to get some other folks in to play some fun. Some fun. It's just going to be a charity one shot. We haven't picked the charity yet, but it will be all the money raised from that will go to the charity. So come hang out, support us, and support each other, and support other folks that are in need. Um, Let me think. Am I missing anything? Probably. I always do. Like and follow us by all means. Yes, like us here on Twitch. Follow us on here on Twitch. Also, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can check out all of the episodes from the past. If you want to catch up with either WindRiders, Origins, Vecna, Liminal Blink, Queers, and check out our one-shot series over there too, because we have a couple of them on there. But you can find all those links right here on our Twitch page down below. I think that's it, though. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's it. So just come back on Monday next and see us. Come check us out on this Wednesday for Liminal Blink. What was that?
National Starting Association.
Oh yes, thank you, thank you. Our charity of the month is the National Stuttering Association. Excuse me. So if you feel generous to give to that again, all that money goes to them. We don't get any of that, which is fantastic. So please, if you feel generous, please give. Yep, I think that's it. Everybody. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Hang around. We're going to rate another awesome creator after stream. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for joining us for this Halfling Wizard production. Make sure to come back again soon to see what happens next. Right here, where adventure comes to life.